performance. No, I want to have greatness out there.
We got to look ourselves in the mirror and see where we can get better and come out flying on Thursday.
Thursday night football heads to Lambeau Field tonight as the Eagles attempt to avoid their worst start since drafting Carson Wentz. Meanwhile, that bad man Aaron Rodgers and the Packers are hot to start the season and looking to go 4-0 for the first time since 2015. So, Max, I'll start with you. Who wins tonight between the two of them?
Packers win. Look, I know why people would look at Thursday night so far and say, wait a minute, the road team won 2 of those games. Week 1 doesn't count because Thursday is like any other day, week 1. It's not like you're coming off a short week. Not really. And so the Packers win week 1 as the road team. Who cares? Next week, Panthers lose as the home team, right? But Cam Newton was, as it turns out, on 1 foot. So there was a real reason that the Panthers weren't really operating well. Then the Jags win at home. And if we look at last season and recent seasons, road teams on Thursdays get slaughtered. Their defense is tired, obviously, right? And so you look at the Packers. Is there a reason that is Aaron Rodgers hurt? No. Is Aaron Rodgers due for a big game? Yeah. We think Aaron Rodgers go to week 4 and no big performances. So you have an Aaron Rodgers with a defense at home, short week, due for a big game against an Eagles team that's kind of, as I said, like not playing demoralized exactly, but not really playing for Carson Wentz the way they've played for Nick Foles over the past couple seasons. This has all the ingredients, and I'm expecting a Packers win, according to Hoyle. That's not exactly the right expression for this situation, but you get the idea.
Let me say this. It's more emotional than anything else, and we'll go with the Eagles to win the night's game. And the reason why I say it's emotional is because this is their season on the line as far as I'm concerned. You don't win this game, you have no shot at winning the division because you'd be probably 3 back of the Dallas Cowboys. You'd have, even if you beat them twice when you faced them during the season, you'd still be a game back, for crying out loud. I just think that's an insurmountable situation to overcome if you're the Philadelphia Eagles. I think they know it, and I think the heightened level of urgency will definitely take a fold. Let's also remember the fact that this is still a 9th-ranked offense. The notion, the fact that Carson Wentz is completing only 61% of his passes, that's a misnomer. Mac Hollins has dropped passes. Miles Sanders, the rookie running back, has dropped passes. The rookie wide receiver, J.J. Arcega-Whiteside, he dropped a short touchdown pass. 2 games, 2 drop passes separate victory from defeat. Okay, and so when you look at the multitude of individuals dropping passes, along with the fact that DeSean Jackson is out, Nelson Aguilar, he's been there. He's dropped some passes as well. You got Alshon Jeffrey. He's been out with a calf. He's coming back. So I'm looking at it from the standpoint, Jeffrey's back. Aguilar's still there. Zach Ertz, he was supposed to be shining. Obviously, you're going to go deep with DeSean Jackson. You spread the underneath for, leave it wide open for him. DeSean Jackson's not there, so it's a little bit harder. But this is a brother that still caught 116 passes last year without a deep threat for the Philadelphia Eagles. So the way I look at it, you're going into Green Bay. I'm not saying that their defense is not good because we know their defense is significantly better than it has been in the past because it's one of the top 2 ranked defenses in the NFL right now. But I also think that that's a misnomer. I can't believe that in one off season, the Green Bay Packers went from that to what they appear to be now. I just find it hard to believe. So I think it's one of those situations where their defense is good, but not great. I think Carson Wentz could potentially expose them. I think other guys are going to step up and stop dropping the damn passes for crying out like I'm catch the ball tonight. And I think the Eagles escape was something along the lines of 33-30 at Lambeau Field, and they saved this season by winning the night.
The Eagles' offensive line has not played up to expectations.
That's true.
Going in, and the Cowboys obviously have. And when you say this is must-win for them, I disagree with that, too. I don't know that the Cowboys are going to go into New Orleans and come out with a win just because Bridgewater's the quarterback. Bridgewater's a solid quarterback.
That's right.
I love me some Taysom Hill. And on top of that, the Saints have a good run defense. So that could be a win. It could be that even if the Eagles lose, they're 2 back of the Cowboys, and they can go on a run because they're a very talented team. You bring up the receiving corps. The interesting thing about the Eagles is at skills positions, other than Ertz, who's the tight end, they have a lot of good receivers. Do they have a great receiver?
No.
They have guys who can run. Who's the great running back on the Eagles? Who's the great receiver?
It doesn't exist.
But they
need
do
to
have
utilize
talent.
They, believe it or not, as old as he is, they need to utilize Darren Sproles a little bit.
Yeah, right.
More
It's
too.
amazing. It's amazing. What is he? 16th season, and he still has value in the league.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. But they don't have really. When you look at the offense, it's the kind of offense that needs to be well coordinated, right? They have a lot of pieces that can do a lot of things, but they don't have a Julio Jones at receiver or, a Saquon Barkley at running back. It's just not that kind of offense. So when they're a little discombobulated, especially coming off the short week, I do not expect them to put up 30 points.
And you point out the O-line could be better. You've pointed out, hey, the receivers have dropped balls and passes. So how much
and running back.
And running back. So how much are you willing to put on Carson Wentz? How much is on the line for him in this game and how you perceive him?
Listen, he needs to protect himself a little bit better. Sometimes he's running with the football. I saw a couple of times where he actually got down. I was happy about that, but he needs to do that with more regularity and recognize the fact that there is no Nick Foles backing him up. The urgency is on him. It's his franchise. He's the guy they gave $107 million, $109 million, whichever one it was, in guaranteed dollars. Show up and handle your business and stay safe. Outside of that, these guys have got to help him by passing, about catching the football. You can't have guys dropping passes and fumbling the football all over the place, especially against Aaron Rodgers, because you can't give him too many chances at the apple. I don't give a damn how much their offense has struggled in the first 3 games or so. Let me tell you something right now. This is Aaron freaking Rodgers. He's a bad brother. You cannot do that with him.
I thought that 2 quarterbacks facing enormous pressure coming into this season were these 2 guys. Aaron Rodgers, okay, now you got a new coach. How's it going to work out now? And then little did I know the defense would play like this. You were arguing yesterday that puts more pressure on him. Over the long haul, I agree. Game for game, maybe he has to do less now. But on it to be successful, maybe it'll help him play within a system better. But over the long haul, yeah, you have a defense too. And Carson Wentz, dude, you made the Super Bowl, but you won the Super Bowl without you. You made a playoff run once you went down. Enormous pressure. But this matchup in a parallel universe is bigger than it is in this one because Patrick Mahomes exists. If Patrick Mahomes didn't exist, to me, this would be Aaron Rodgers, the most talented guy I've ever seen at the position, versus the guy who maybe could replace him on that list, going forward. Carson Wentz could be the next guy wow, he's just more talented, bigger, stronger, faster, with an arm, or at least that, maybe not bigger, stronger, faster, but of all the guys his size who can run like him, etc., who has all those characteristics at that level, pitched that high. That's not really a potential changing of the guard or passing of the torch type game because Mahomes exists. To me, it diminishes it a little bit.
Well, I don't think it diminishes it at all because you're talking about Aaron Rodgers. Just because you have somebody that's otherworldly and so phenomenal doesn't take away from the greatness of others that are his contemporaries. Aaron Rodgers is Aaron freaking Rodgers. And when you look at the Eagles, it's the NFC East by virtue of the fact that it forces you to talk about the Cowboys, the Giants, etc. That makes it compelling as well. So I'm looking forward to it.
All right, guys, we're going to take a break from this, and coming up, we're going to pivot into some basketball talk, all right? For the first time, LeBron is not the king of a very important list. Stephen A. has something to say about that. Do not go
taking the original spicy chicken sandwich up a notch with the new